IPAs are one of my favorite styles. I prefer bigger beers, so I prefer double IPAs, but an IPA is always appropriate. Um, Arguably, probably one of the most popular styles of beer in America right now. As we've tend to hop things up to the next level. And so it's all about IBUs now. Well, actually, it seems to be less and less about IBUs anymore. But the style of the IPA itself still reigns supreme as far as I'm concerned. And tonight I'm drinking a beer that is a collaboration brew between DC Brau up here in DC and Oskar Blues. And this beer is called I don't know how well you can see the can, but it's called Smells Like Freedom.
Freedom. See,
Smells Like Freedom IPA. This beer was brewed in conjunction, like I said, with DC Brau and Oskar Blues because about I don't know, maybe a month and a half ago, DC just legalized recreational marijuana, and as we know, it's been legal in Colorado for a while, which is Oskar Blues' territory. So these guys got together, brewed a beer, and Smells Like Freedom. So you can guess how this beer smells, considering the coalescence point. So if you remember back in April 4th of last year, Stone had their Enjoy By that was devastatingly dank. Well, this beer is quite dank, and the nose on this beer is amazing. The IPAs, the hops. I wish I knew what hops they use. DC Brau, they don't tell. They never post their hop bill online, so it's kind of hard to tell. You can probably smell and take a stab, but I'm not about to go there. But it's a 7% IPA. Beautiful can. I mean, the camera isn't doing it any justice. They just started canning this. This is going to be a limited run. This will be the only time this beer will ever be released.
DC is the only place we got cans. Other place, not even in Colorado, they didn't get it. DC's cans only on the DC. Everywhere else is going to be on tap.
And to go to that point, they just canned it last weekend. Before that, you can only get it on tap. Well, you could get crowlers at the brewery to go, but yeah, this can was canned last weekend on whatever. And like I said, I had it before. It was crazily dank, but not overbearingly dank. It was very, very pleasant. The nose hits you, and the taste certainly doesn't disappoint following it. I'm gonna guess that they probably got a good bit of Simcoe hops in here. I wish I knew an IBU number, but DC Brau they seem to some. If I find one, I'll come back and tell you. But DC Brau tends to be a little vague with their with some of the descriptions. I could probably find it elsewhere, but if you see this beer and you can get it, by all means, you should try it. I mean, because it's like I said, it's not going to be brewed again. This is just a one-time shot, and these guys can brew. I mean, we know DC Brau. Everybody knows about On the Wings of Armageddon, all right?
Yeah.
Oskar Blues. Have you ever had a bad beer from Oskar Blues?
Not many.
So right. So the point is, if they get together and make a beer, all you need to know is that they can brew, and it's
That's
pretty
nice.
delicious.
Did you talk about that label before the show or on the air? That can. I have the.
Oh yeah. So I actually have a poster. Y'all can't see. It's basically a poster of the art on the can, and this is probably the first time that I've ever seen a can that was actually wrapped, as opposed to the design being printed on the can itself. This is almost like a wrap that they put on the can.
A heat
And-
shrink, I'm sure. Yeah.
And I love this can, man. I had the opportunity to meet the guy who did the art. I can't remember his name right now, but this is a beautiful can. I mean,
They normally do the wrapping for when it's smaller quantities, because when you commit to can that is printed, you get a lot of them. So yeah, normally small quantity they use that wrapping. It's a sleeve that it's a thermo shrinking or something that they call it.
thermal wrap or something like that.
Thermal, yeah.
But yeah, I like this beer, and cheers to DC Brau and Oscar Blues for doing it again and again and again and again on making great beer. So
It's pretty awesome.
yeah.
Now I want it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, you know, the originally, as far as I remember, the IPAs were not very high in ABVs, right? They were like 6.5 because of taxation at the time. And we talk about like, oh, people are doing like lower ABV IPAs again now, but that's how it was before. It just became like very hoppy and high ABV, I think, here in US, right?
Well, I mean, I think that's kind of maybe that happened with the creation of the double or the imperial IPA, right? I mean, because IPAs, I guess it depends on what definition you go by. Once you hit, some people will say once you hit 7.5, some say 8, some say 8.5. Once you hit that, then you're hitting imperial or double territory. So, I mean, the IPA itself is not. I mean, I don't consider 7.5% to be a, a a big beer, but I don't think the IPA, the single IPA style, is typically one that's high ABV.
See, I thought
Right.
double IPA, I thought that just referred to how many hops.
Nothing that has not it has nothing to do with the
No.
hops at all. It's
Oh.
the ABV.
Oh, alrighty then.
All right, awesome. Now I want that beer. So who
Hey,
else has a beer open?
wait,
Let's see.
Gil,
Go ahead.
real quick. I'm sorry.
You found it?
On their website it said it. They have I guess a quote from the co-founder and CEO Brian Skull from DC Brau. He said it seemed to be a connection we had between the two places. The idea was to make a beer that obviously does not have cannabis in it, but sort of could emulate the flavor or aroma profile as closely as possible, being that hops themselves are so closely related to cannabis. So they made it to it's super dank, as they say. So there you go.
You
Smells
seem
good.
happy.
It smells good.
It makes me happy just to look at you right now. Look like a little kid just got a new toy.
Well, I'm just saying, listen to the tasting notes. Smells Like Freedom is a big, juicy hot bomb of an IPA with a nice medium body, slightly dried out thanks to the addition of sugar to the brewing kettle. Hot profile. Its huge notes include resiny, piney, earthy, sticky cannabis and white pepper with aromas of cannabis, tangerine, and sugar coated. Blah 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 blah. They go somewhere else and they mention cannabis again. So there's no question about what this beer was intended
Right.
to be reminiscent of.
So you're going to end up doing a comparison to this and the Stone 420? Is that supposed to be like a dank beer as well?
Well, last year's 420 was dank. This year's 420 isn't dank at all. I had some of that tonight earlier, and it's
Okay.
yeah. I was expecting it to be super duper dank, but it wasn't.